Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I have another set of templates for you, which will be for YouTube, Twitch, and Discord. Now I'm going to have all of the assets that you need, including the fonts, and of course the actual template for you to download in the description, so go ahead and check it out there. All the files, everything you need will be there for you to grab. Now in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to actually edit this template for your own personal needs, that being changing the text to say something else and changing the character model to one that's a bit more appropriate for your community or fits your need a bit better. And you'll see popping up on screen now how these banners actually look in use. When it comes to actually editing these banners, I'm using Adobe Photoshop. This is a paid software. It is not free. It's, I believe, around $20 a month for a photography plan, and I can go upwards of $60 to $70 a month, I believe, for the full plan, but it can be reduced if you're a student. Now, I'll be using Photoshop to edit, but if you don't have the means or the want to pay for Photoshop or download even Photoshop, or even to items turn 3, 2, 1, go, or even to download Photoshop, instead you can use this handy website called Photopia. Now, Photopia is completely free to use, offers much of the same functionality as Photoshop. It's all in browser, so you're not relying on the performance of your computer, and it looks pretty similar to Photoshop. Now there is one important thing to note with Photopia. Fonts, unlike with Photoshop where you open the font file, you double click, you click install, and it installs directly into your computer. This is obviously a website, you can't do that here. Instead, once you come over to your text tool on the left, type tool, click the down arrow up here, click load fonts, and it's going to load an OTF or TTF file from your computer, and then you have access to the two fonts that you need to edit this template. While you can't copy layer style, which is what I'll be using in Photoshop, for example for this text tool, and I'll get into that more later, once you create the new text, and again this will make more sense once I get to the actual step, so I type down Bobby. Instead of right click copy layer style, because that's not an option here, you'll click the down arrow and just drag the effect on, and now the effect is on the layer. I'm holding Alt on my keyboard and scrolling my mouse wheel to zoom in. You can see the effect is now on that layer. And to rasterize the layer, we right click and rasterize layer style. As to why we had to do that, it'll make more sense once I get into the template editing, but this is how you go about modifying it with Photopia. So, leaving Photopia, I'm going to go back to the actual banner here, and I'm going to show you how to edit the text to start. So the two files or the two folders you actually need are the ones that say edit here. I've already gone ahead and indicated that for you. So opening the text, there's two ways to edit the text, and I think the way that's going to be simplest for most people is to hide this one right here, open up this one here, and then let's create a new layer here, drag it out or leave it in, it doesn't matter in the slightest. Make sure you're on the Boombaya fonts, click, let's call it Bobby's. And then we see these two different layers, and the order we want to do this in is first the color copy. So right click, and as it says, copy layer style, then right click on Bobby's and paste layer style. And now right click, rasterize layer style. Keep in mind, this bakes the whole thing, so you will not be able to edit the text again until you go back and you recreate the text by typing it back out. But it's not really that big of a deal because it's so simple. You type it, right click, copy, right click, paste, right click, copy, right click, paste. So now we go to shadow, right click, copy, and then Bobby's, right click, and paste. And it is the same exact style that this one is in. Honestly, I'll show you, but again, I think the other way is so much simpler. For this one, you go into edit contents, and while it is fairly simple as well, you just type out here, Bobby's, As you can see in this one, you're limited to the canvas size, and you have to go to image, canvas size, and edit that here. I mean, I guess both are really simple, but I don't know if a Photopia even supports editing the contents of a smart layer. So the other way probably makes more sense. So yeah, same exact thing, but again, I think the other way is simpler. See, the canvas size wasn't tall enough, and part of the Y is now cut off. We'd have to go back in, edit contents, canvas size, and adjust it, or I guess just drag it up. But again, it's a little more complicated. So, okay, that's the text. Now for the actual model, let me undo all of that. For the model, we come over here. So, say you found your new character model, just go ahead and drag them in. Do a Control-T if they're facing the wrong way around. Go over to the width, add a minus. And the tool I'm using is called Free Transform in Photopia. I have to click Edit and go down to Free Transform. Same thing in Photoshop if Control-T is not working for you. Then make sure the character is extra wide. No, do not do that. Make sure the character is a good size. Typically, upscaling, what I just did there, is a huge no-no, but at a small scale, it's passable. So let's go ahead and adjust this character how we want them. Perfect. Now we're going to call this the main model. Let's delete this old one and copy layer style, then delete the model shadow. Now here I'm going to do a Control-J, drag it below, model shadow, then right click, paste layer style, and while on the move tool, I'm going to use my arrow keys down right, and down right all the way until it is about there. And you notice the character herself is a little too light, so I'm going to do an image auto tone and an image auto contrast. And I might even go into brightness / contrast, drop the brightness, and up the contrast to help her fit in just a little bit more. And depending on your character model, you might have to adjust the sun rays to make it fit a bit better. And to actually save it, nope, I'm skipping a step. For the text again, you'll notice for the socials, that's what it's called. Socials has its own separate folder. I do have a Twitch in here, and this is again simple to edit. You just pop open the file, the folder, and go over to where it says name and just add in whatever. If it goes over to another social icon, you can just drag it around, hide it by using the hiding on the eyeball. And you can also go ahead and resize it all if you do not like it. So Control-T, resize it all if you want them all to fit. And now we can just drag around while on the move tool, making sure they're not all selected. So we'll drag one there, put a Twitter over here, and put a Twitch over there. Pretty simple, and yeah, that's it. To actually save it, I recommend File, Export, Save for Web, and these are the settings I'm using. This does a really good job of actually keeping the high quality image while compressing it to a size that is much smaller and easier to upload just about anywhere. Hope you found this template helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe. And other than that, I hope you all have an awesome day.